Sanbonani, Ninjani. I am Slickers. There's no Mr. JR Africa, Mr. Feel Good. Welcome to ANCG TV. JR.
Brother,
Khatalin
how
Najal.
are you?
20 years of democracy, what does it mean to you?
I'm 20 years old, so it means a lot. No,
So are you
no.
saying, are you a born free?
No, I'm joking. But I mean, it means a great deal. You know, it means the country's come a long way. It means the South African public has come a long way. The nation, for me, 20 years is like 20 years of significance and 20 years of impact. You know what I mean? So, a large impact in a small space of time. Changing people's livelihoods, changing people's lives every day. You know, it's just a great way of showing how far we've come. And internationally, we are respected as a nation that's only 20 years old, but has done so much infrastructure. You know, hosting of big events, the World Cups and the like. So, people look at us from abroad with an international perspective. You know, they count us within the international countries overseas. So, 20 years means a lot. 20 years of impact.
You are from Soshanguve, right?
No, Atteridgeville.
It's the
But
same.
I'm from Tshwane.
Yeah, you know, just two corners and you're there.
Not the best.
Yeah, but we drive straight for a long time. So I think Tshwane or AKA old school name Pretoria, popular for racism, popular for treating black people like back
Hey,
then,
you can
back
s-
then,
Oh yeah, back
it's,
then, yeah,
it's the
yeah.
stereotype,
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So I think you could probably tell us a lot of Pretoria stories, you know, and give us some Pretoria news just to give us, and then you can tell us your reality of Tshwane today and where you at, you know, just so one can balance, you know, how it was, because I'm sure you were 3 or 4 years when it was happening, you know.
Yeah, man, I was relatively young, but I mean when
You can't be relatively young. You have to be young.
no, listen, okay, I'm still a youth, okay?
Okay, okay.
Still a youth.
Youngish.
So yeah, man. I mean, I was born in Bloemfontein and I grew
Oh,
up in Tshwane.
even
So I'm
worse.
extremely like from the
Yo,
extreme racist points, that were known like very racist
yo,
places
yo,
in our
yo.
country. And I mean, it's Bloemfontein is still one of the toughest places. You know what I mean? But also the most welcoming and the most warming. Pretoria is where I grew up, and obviously that's where I learned and engaged with a lot of people. And it wasn't the easiest upbringing. Like I could relate to what Lebo was saying. Where we went to Bonkensani and whatever, and we know when everything was changed, it could change over. I could then go to public school in town. You know what I mean? And I had to associate with boys, learn new surnames like Dicheris, and all these things. So I mean, like, it was a very tough like change for me in terms of like culturally as well. It was a big culture shock. From boys, young boys, little Afrikaner boys, calling my father names to, their fathers. Maybe we stopping at a roadhouse to buy food and their fathers, they're saying, why are you serving this black thing before you're serving me? And as a young kid sitting on the passenger seat and watching this man speak to your father like that, there's no way your father's going to take a back seat. You understand? He's, as a black man, not only as a black man, but as a father as well. You know what I mean? He needs to stand up for himself. So it was like that. It was a constant back and forth, and regardless where I went to, that's the way it always was. And now, looking at it now, like, Tshwane is, I think it's the second biggest municipality in the world. You know what I mean? With Wi-Fi infrastructure in town, and stuff like that. I mean, you can see a world-class quality city, coming from where it's come from in the space of 20 years, and that's amazing.
That's amazing. I mean, with you being a part of that, when you go out every day and you're waking up and you have these stories where your father was humiliated in front of you, and you're living in today's time. How are you using your time? Because to a certain extent, you are living here in a situation where your father couldn't do the things that you're doing in his time. So how are you using your time to value them and even going further to make people see that actually your time is precious. You are your time at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So how are you using that because you've got so much access? I mean, your music as a rapper's perspective, you always want to go broad. You collaborate with a lot of people who are probably oppressing your father, like a lot of people's fathers who are probably oppressing your
Yeah,
father.
yeah, yeah.
So you collaborate with different races. I mean, is that a part of your scheme of forgiving and integrating the music? Because that's what you do with your music, and it takes a lot of forgiving to kind of collaborate with white dudes like you've been
Yeah.
doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Knowing all these things in the back of your head.
I mean, to the time thing, time is, I always say, is a commodity, that you cannot put an amount of money to, and is a commodity that you can never get back. You know what I mean? It's the most precious of all. And for me, if you look at your time and how you spend it, how I spend my time is trying to be the change. I want to create change, and the only way I knew how to do that was through my music. The only way I knew how to create change was by breaking boundaries that no other musician in South Africa was willing to do, unless a record company came in and said, you need to do a song with Kurt Darren, you need to do this. I wanted to be the guy who was influencing that change, because why I'm a child of the new school. You understand? I represent the new generation of South Africa. I'm the voice of the generation that will be voting for the first time on the 7th of May. The generation that is there with the gold rings and the tattoos and the Jordans and the whatever. I represent those people. And I need to be the voice of them, but I need to make them realize who they are and how they can better themselves. Because the worst thing you could do for yourself is not wake up on the 7th of May and go to the polls and vote. It's the worst thing. And for me, it's like, how do I create that change? How do I do that? So I need to show people that, look, it's okay. I could forgive Jack Perro's father, Mang Mang's father, Mamang's father for the stuff they've done, their forefathers for the stuff they did to my forefathers. You understand? But that's the only route, is to pave a new way forward, a new way of forgiveness, a new way of like looking at it as a South African and not just as a black South African, as a color South African, but as a South African public. Understand? And the only way to do that is through the change that you want to create personally. And that change you can do with your spare time that you have, Slicker.
Thank you for the advice. I appreciate that.
No, you're welcome. I'm going to charge you for that, actually.
Yeah. Thank you. And I will do like what we do and
How
never
we
pay
do.
you. So with that being said, you've already given, you've already said a message, something very strong. Said if you don't wake up on the 7th of May, you wouldn't be doing yourself, you'll be doing yourself an injustice.
Yeah.
And that was going to be my next question. What would be your advice to young people who are apathetic, who don't want to vote, who don't believe in the system? I mean, is it about believing in a party, or is it about believing in a solution, and your solution is within a party? What would you, a political party that is, what would be your advice to kids who are sitting like that?
I have, apart from kids, you know what I mean? Like, I have,
Even Uams and Dani.
yeah, Uams
Yeah.
and Tanis,
Yeah.
who say, they've given up because, Tina's Kule Sama, what, manje, we must, we are forced to so vote line, whatever, And the thing is, not waking up on the 7th of May, not going to vote, not putting your mark on that ballot paper, it's not just an injustice to yourself, but it's an injustice to people like you who believe in what you believe in. And I always say, like, believe is never enough. It's always believe and hard work. Everything travels in twos. It's always prayer and hard work. You understand? So you can never just sit there and say, I don't believe, I don't want to do this because this thing is not working for me. Lebogang said it best. You need to be the change. You need to go there and work it from the inside. Take the initiative. Don't sit there and wait with your hand out. You know what I mean? When you started in this industry, you never waited for a handout. No one could give you what you wanted. But what you do, you went there and took what you want. You went there and demanded people's, attention and said, you need to listen to me. And that's what needs to happen. For you to be able to get up and go to vote is you saying, this is my voice, listen to me. This is me. I'm an 18-year-old. I'm young. I'm living Kosoweto. I'm living Guatridgeville. I'm living wherever. And this is who I want to see. And this is what I want to be. Understand? So that's the biggest thing you can ever do for yourself. I guess the biggest thing of all is getting up on the 7th of May and going to the polls and vote. And making the right choice.
So thank you.
The best choice. The ANC choice. Not the wrong choice.
Oh.
Because I see you look confused when I said the right choice.
No,
You must get your priorities right,
No, I mean, this is NCGTV, and I have the job, so I know where I'm working.
All right.
So, with that being said, Mr. J has said everything works in pairs. This democracy is nothing without you and that ballot paper. That's just it. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean nothing. But then again, if you are struggling, struggle is also contagious. You know, it's you and everyone else you are letting down. You know what I mean? So that literally compounds to more than two. So wake up, do what you got to do, and make that change on the 7th of May. This is NCYGTV. That was the other channel I was working on. We signing out with Mr. JR Africa. Peace.